Hi everyone, as all of you probably know at this point, this video is going to be about how I got into nursing school and kind of just my journey up till getting into nursing school. I have had a lot happen in my life the past couple of months, one of them being getting into nursing school, but besides that, my life has kind of just been a whirlwind of working and trying to have a social life outside of the few hours I'm not working and trying to keep up with climbing and all this stuff. And so I haven't been able to film a lot lately, but I wanted to sit down and make this video about my journey going to nursing school because I have been rejected from nursing schools. I've been waitlisted for nursing schools, and I've kind of felt pretty much all of the emotions surrounding, you know, I don't know if you can hear this big semi truck thingy driving by, or bus, but I'm sorry if you hear a lot of car sounds in this video, but I do live by an extremely busy street, so yeah. In this process, I've felt pretty much all of the emotions, the highs, the lows, and so I just wanted to share that because when I was going through, you know, rejections and being waitlisted, I pretty much just went on YouTube, and it helped to watch other people talk about their experiences. So I wanted to talk about my experiences as well, and hopefully it'll help some of you or encourage some of you who are trying to get into nursing school. I know that this is very different from any of the other videos I make on my channel. I touch into nursing sometimes here and there, but I've never like fully devoted a video to nursing. So I just really felt like, since nursing is going to be a huge part of my life very soon, I need to make this video now, and it just seemed the most appropriate. So yeah. Okay, so let's just get into it. I'm just speaking off of the top of my head, so if you see a lot of jump cuts, it's because I'm literally just speaking off the top of my head. How I decided to pursue nursing is a long journey. So for my undergrad, I was accepted at UC Irvine as a bio major, and I had just selected bio because it was my favorite course in high school, and I didn't know what I wanted to do yet, but I chose bio. A couple days before my orientation, I think I had received some sort of notice that said, you know, you can still switch majors if you really want to. You can do so during orientation. And since I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, I just wanted to keep other majors in mind just in case. And so I spoke to my brother, who did business and finance in college, and he said, you know, if you really don't know what you want to do yet, econ is a really good like gateway major. You can do econ and then go into business, or you can go into law, or you can go into finance, you can go into like so many other things. And so I had that in the back of my mind going to orientation, and I didn't know, you know, whether I wanted to pursue either the healthcare field or business or whatever, but I went to orientation, and then on orientation day, they had all of the freshmen in this huge room, and they had explained everything to us, like how to register for classes and all this stuff. And then at the very end of the first portion of orientation, they said, okay, if any of you want to switch majors, all you have to do is walk out of the room with the major that you want to switch to. And it came down to the very last two majors, and they were econ and bio. Bio was the major that would be staying in the room, and the very last major to leave before bio was econ. And so I was literally at a crossroads, and I was sitting in my seat and wondering, like, do I really want to stay a bio major? Because I looked at my classes for the first year of school as a bio major, because they printed that out for you, and I saw that one of the classes I would be taking is chem, obviously. But backtracking a little, I failed chem in high school, and it was the only class that I had ever failed. And it scarred me so much that that was the thing that drove me to decide to leave the room and pursue econ instead of bio. And so my original plans to, do bio and then pursue a career in healthcare pretty much stopped there. I did all 4 years of econ at UCI, graduated with a bachelor's of arts in economics, and had no idea what I wanted to do then. And so I decided to leave the country and live in Australia for a year instead. All throughout school and in Australia, I worked as a server, and I loved it. I mean, it was still work, and not every day was the best, but I loved providing service to people. I loved interacting with different people every day. I loved the aspect of having to read people and guess what they wanted and guess the type of service that they wanted and all that stuff. And this all kind of ties into why I want to pursue what I want to pursue now. But while I was living in Australia, I also experienced one of the biggest health issues that I had ever experienced in my life. I had a condition, and it's called iritis, and basically what was happening was in my right eye, I was experiencing inflammation because my eye, for whatever reason, started attacking itself and forming a lot of white blood cells in my eye. Also my iris, so the part of my eye that constricts and dilates in order to let in light, that was essentially frozen in like one position. And so it wasn't controlling how much light was going in and out of my eye, which meant that I was in extreme pain because too much light was being let into my eye. It was to the point where I was huddled under 2 blankets in my room with the blinds closed, trying to block out all the light, and only when it was pitch dark in the room was I only under slight constant pain in my eye. It was kind of like a House MD episode where a person is just like, living their life, and then suddenly they're bleeding out of all of their orifices. Like, that's what it felt like it happened to me. I was just working, some light reflected off of a car passing by, and then I was in sudden and extreme pain. And I was also just in a foreign country with no idea of how the healthcare system worked. I didn't have insurance. I didn't know if this was gonna if I would have to undergo surgery. I'd never had eye problems. So this was all new to me. I didn't even know who to look up to have an exam done for my eyes. And so I just was Googling, and I was like, okay, I can maybe make an appointment with an optometrist. Literally, someone saw me in the back of an eyeglass store, and I came in, sat down, he did like a general exam, and then after the exam, he was like, okay, I am going to have to refer you to an ophthalmologist because I think you have a certain condition, but I can't say with complete certainty. But if you do have this condition, you need to have it taken care of right away because you could potentially go blind if you don't. I called the ophthalmologist's office and they were completely booked, and I didn't know what to do at that point. And they said, well, why do you need to see the ophthalmologist? And I said, well, I think I have iritis. And then the lady on the phone was like, iritis? Is that? And I was like, yeah, that's what the optometrist said, who I just saw. And she said, okay, one moment. She puts me on hold and she comes back. She says, can you come here in a few hours? Can you come here at 1 o'clock? And on one hand, I was happy that they were willing to see me so fast. On the other hand, I was like, what is this condition that's so serious that, a fully booked ophthalmologist will fit me into their schedule to take care of this. So like I was terrified, and so I go and I see the ophthalmologist. He is just so kind. My spirits did like a complete 180, and you know, he looked at my eye and he said, yes, the optometrist is right, you do have iritis. I'm gonna prescribe you some steroids that you can take, and at first your vision is gonna be a bit blurry for a couple of weeks, but it should be fine after a bit. Also, since, you know, to help you with the pain until you get your prescription, I'm gonna give you some free samples from the office so that you can just put them in your eyes right now, and so that'll help, you know, with some of the pain that you're feeling. And I was just like so relieved, and I don't know, like just to be on like a downward emotional and mental spiral, thinking like, wow, this is like the worst thing that could ever happen to me, and then to have him, you know, be so kind. To him, like it's probably such a small moment, like he probably wouldn't even remember who I am or what he did for me, but it is something that I will remember for the rest of my life.
Something that I forgot to mention earlier that I wanted to mention was that after I saw the optometrist, I had gotten a full exam and he was seeing me for maybe 20 or 30 minutes. But after the exam, he said, I'm not going to charge you anything for this exam. Please just call the ophthalmologist and make an appointment as soon as you can and have this taken care of. And then as I was walking out, he told the lady in front, like, hey, don't charge her anything. She's fine. And I think I remember seeing online the exam was like $90 or something just for an exam. And he completely waived it, and that was so sweet.
I don't know, that was definitely one of the things that got me thinking about like, oh, like what a difference healthcare workers make. But basically, I went through a very serious health condition in Australia. I was taken care of. It was life-changing. I still didn't know that I wanted to do nursing then, but I don't know what it was. I don't know what led to the moment of me pulling out my laptop, and I looked up what my options were for nursing school, and I learned about a program called an accelerated BSN, which if you already have a bachelor's degree in something else, anything else, you can take an accelerated version of nursing school and don't have to do all 4 years. So the ones that I was looking into ranged from like 12 months to 15 months to 2 years, which was a much faster time frame that I was anticipating. I looked into prerequisites and I signed up for a community college that was close to where I was living. I had never attended community college before. It had just so happened that at the time that I was looking into classes for prerequisites for nursing, that the spring semester was just about to start, and I still had some time to sign up for classes for the spring. So kind of like on a whim, I just decided to sign up for anatomy and chemistry, just to kind of dip my toes in the water, just to, you know, restart school again and see how I felt about being in school again. And it all kind of just happened very quickly from that point. Turns out I loved being back in school again, loved anatomy. I actually enjoyed chem as well. And all of my other prerequisites just kind of happened one after the other. And I had all of my prerequisites done by the end of 2019, after starting at the beginning of 2019. Some other things I did while I was doing my prereqs was I was volunteering for hospice and palliative care, and I had 2 patients in that time that I was visiting on a regular basis. And then I also got my CNA certification. And so I thought, you know, with these 2 things, I was like kind of okay in the experience department. They were definitely patient care and patient facing. I thought I was in a decent position. I had 4.0 for my prereqs. Oh, another thing I want to mention is that my undergraduate GPA was not the best. I really didn't care very much in college, and I just wanted to get by and pass, and so my undergrad GPA was 2.892 or something like that. So yeah, my undergraduate GPA was pretty low, and that was something that I was concerned about, and that motivated me to work even harder to get 4.0 minimum on my prereqs, which I was able to do successfully. So for those of you out there who have low undergraduate GPAs, there's still hope. You can still turn things around. One more thing that I needed to do for my first choice school was take the TEAS. TEAS stands for Test of Essential Academic Skills, and it's basically what it sounds like. There are 4 parts to it: science, math, reading, and English, like grammar. It's basically the standardized test that is required for some nursing schools, not all nursing schools, but it was required for my first choice nursing school, so I had to take that as well. I prepared for it for about 4 weeks before I took the test, which was ample time for me. I basically took a practice test every single day for 3 weeks, and I even went to Barnes & Noble and took practice tests out of books I didn't even buy. So if anyone wants me to go into detail about studying for the TEAS, I can do that in another video. But yeah, that was something I had to do as well. I felt confident, and I applied to my first choice nursing school, and I got an interview. And because everything was kind of falling into place so easily, I definitely went into the interview with like a confidence boost. Not that I didn't prepare for it, because I prepared for it a lot. Like, I studied maybe 25 more interview questions than I needed to. But I was super prepared for it. It was a very chill interview. It was more like conversational. I had a really good time. I got really good feedback from my interviewers, so I felt extremely confident after. The interview went really well, I think. I mean, she told me that it went well. She told me that I did really well and that it was a pleasure meeting me and all that. So I'm thinking that that's a good sign. And so when a couple months later, the results came out and I got an email, I found out that I had been waitlisted for my first choice school. I honestly didn't know how to feel, because, I mean, obviously there was disappointment there because I wasn't, immediately offered a position, but in my head there were only 2 kind of options that were going to happen tomorrow, which were, I don't get in or I do get in, and each one had their own appropriate reactions. But this waitlisting thing was just like not even a factor. Like, it's not even something that I considered. So I was very confused. When I found this out, I believe this was right before COVID, or like right as COVID started happening. So I was waitlisted. I waited a little bit longer for like another month or so, until orientation day for that cohort, to see if anyone would maybe give up their spot, but nobody did. COVID was happening. Like, people were locked into their spots, and I was very sad. And because of COVID, I felt like I also just had limited opportunities to do more volunteering or hospital things. And that was part of the feedback that I got when I was told I was being put on the wait list, was that everything checked out, everything was great, and I was definitely qualified for the position. I just didn't have experience as much as some of the other applicants, and that's why I wasn't chosen right away. So then I kind of just started reading different nursing forums. So for any of you applying to nursing school, if you don't already know, allnurses.com is a nursing forum where people post things about nursing, but also anyone who is applying to a certain school for a certain year or something. Basically, a new page is created for every like incoming class, and people talk about stats and they talk about just everything that they're going through, like whether they finished their application, whether they've been invited for an interview, all this stuff. Super helpful. And I was just kind of reading through different forums of just like any nursing school just to see what people did for volunteer experience and stuff. And one person mentioned that they did the COPE Health Scholars Program, which is basically an opportunity for anyone going into pre-med, pre-health, pre-nursing, like for anyone trying to work into the healthcare field. This is a program that gives you experience in the hospital as a health scholar. But even though technically I was in the program, since COVID was still in full force, they weren't letting any of the scholars on site yet. Toward the end of the year, we're starting to be allowed to shift onto units with, you know, actual patients, non-COVID units, obviously. But we were finally slowly starting to get into that right before the next application cycle for nursing school. So what really was the game changer for me when it came to COPE was that while I was a scholar, we were also getting emailed job opportunities. And one of the job opportunities that was shared to me was the one that I'm currently working right now. So currently I am a staffing coordinator and basically supervising a team of 40 health scholars. We work for COPE, but we're being contracted out to a university in Texas. And basically we are organizing the appointments for people to get vaccinated in Texas. It has been an insane journey. I started in December, and back in December, right when they opened registration for vaccines, about 60,000 people registered to get vaccines in Texas, and we were still figuring out what the best way was to get people vaccinated, how to set up appointments, how, you know, logistically we were very new to all of it at the time, and to see where it has come and where it is now is just so insane. And it's such fulfilling work, especially, you know, to hear from the patients themselves who feel so much safer. It honestly makes me happy that I didn't get into nursing school when I thought I had originally wanted to. Because if I had started nursing school, you know, a year ago, I wouldn't have gotten into COPE, I wouldn't have, you know, gotten the job opportunity, I wouldn't have been able to experience all of this firsthand. And I think that I actually believe that things happen the way that they're meant to happen, and I try to see the positive in things, and I want to believe that I wasn't supposed to start nursing school a year ago, and I was supposed to start it now after experiencing all the things that I experienced. So for anyone out there who may have also gotten rejected or waitlisted or are waiting for a response from nursing schools, and if you're scared or uncertain, like if it's something that you really want to do, if nursing is something that you want to pursue, like you can and you will. And it may take some time and it may not happen on the timeline that you want it to happen, but it will happen. And you just need to be patient and keep an eye out for opportunities that will help you get to your goal. But you will get there, and you will get there when you're supposed to get there. Another thing that I want to mention before I go, I don't know if anyone knows how old I am, but I am 28 years old, and I definitely started feeling the past couple of years like I'm on a time crunch, gotta start, you know, hitting the life milestones and things, and obviously I can't help but compare myself to others, but there is no true timeline. People are pursuing nursing at such different stages of their lives. So we even have a couple people in our cohort who are moms. You know, there are people who are coming into nursing after many years of working a career in another profession. Me, who I was just lost for a super long time and kind of figuring out, you know, what I was good at and what I wanted to do. But I hope that what you take from this is that it is not a straight path. As much as everyone shares the happy moments, the triumphs, like, I bet a lot of the people who follow me on social media or whatever didn't even know I was trying to pursue nursing, even though I was for the past 2 years now. And I shared the happy moment, but all of this other stuff had to lead up to it first. And I'm grateful for all of it. Thank you for listening, and I will be updating you on my nursing school life. I will still be creating climbing videos, and I'm still gonna show you my apartment. I tried not to show anything you haven't really seen before, so that there's no spoilers, but I will be doing an apartment tour or the apartment makeover video. I was gonna do an apartment makeover video, but I have like, I think 40-50 hours of footage, which is very intimidating. I don't know if I can do that. So I might just do an apartment tour, like a finished apartment tour video. But I will see you all in my next video. I'm quitting my job soon so I can have a little bit of breaky time before I, dive into nursing school. So I'm gonna try to post as many videos as I can in like that break span thing. Okay, so yeah, this video's over now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. And then while I have your attention, I just need to let you know that, dang it, I showed some of my apartment, whatever. Queenie is still alive and kicking. Right, Mama? Yeah, he's still good. He's still good, Mommy. She's still chilling. Okay. Say bye. Bye.